All right, good morning, sixth graders. Go ahead and start off by thinking about this. Do now, pause the video, and come up with the correct answers. Okay, so the correct answers here are salt and sugar. Salt is a compound. We can tell that because it has the element Na and the element Cl combined chemically. So that's a compound, which makes it a pure substance. Sugar is also a compound. We have 6 atoms of carbon, 12 atoms of hydrogen, 6 atoms of oxygen. And those are all chemically combined, which makes it a compound. And compounds are always pure substances. Then we have sand and cookies. Those are both considered mixtures. Today's topic is PS8 Separating Mixtures. Go ahead and write that down in your notebook. All right. 3 vocabulary words today. The first one is solution. So a solution is a mixture of one substance dissolved in another. The example shown here is sugar solution or sugar water. Sugar water is a solution because we have sugar dissolved completely in water. All right, so the solute is part of the solution. The solute is the substance that is dissolved. It can be solid, liquid, or gas. So in this case, the solute is sugar. Sugar is dissolving in the solution, so that makes it the solute. The solvent is the liquid that the solute dissolves in. Okay, so that's a lot of words. So remember, the solute is the thing that's dissolving, in this case the sugar. It's dissolving in water, so water is the solvent. So a recap on that. The solution in this case is the whole thing, the sugar water, that's the solution. The solute is the thing that dissolved, that's the sugar. The solvent is the liquid that was dissolved in, so that's the water. All right, I want you to think about this example. If we have salt water, it's pretty similar. What is the solvent? What is the solute? And what is the solution? Pause the video. Okay, so the solution, I think, is the easiest thing to think of. The solution is like the whole thing, right? We can think of a math solution, the end product. So the solution is what we get at the end. That's the salt water. Then we'll remember that the solvent is the liquid. So in this case, the solvent is water again. And the solute is the thing that is dissolving. In this case, the solute is the salt. So real quick again, solvent is water here. The solute is salt. And the solution is the salt water. It's a lot of S's. Okay. So now we're going to talk about different methods. There's no pencil here. You don't need to write this down. There are a bunch of different methods to separate mixtures. So once we have a mixture, sometimes we want to separate it, right? So there's a bunch of different ways to do that. And the physical properties of the mixture are the thing that will help us determine which method is best. All right, there's going to be one more slide of notes, and then I'll just talk about a couple of things. So the notes, methods for separating mixtures. Here are some of the most common methods for separating mixtures. We have density, magnets, filtration, and evaporation. Remember, you can pause if you need some more time with that. I'm going to go through and talk about each one of those pretty quick. Okay, so we have oil and water. Actually, you could do this at home again. I know we just did this for density, but if you put oil and water in a water bottle, or maybe in a glass like this one, and then if you stir it really hard or you shake the water bottle really hard, then you can actually get it to mix together. It won't completely dissolve in the way that sugar water would, but you can get it to be pretty well mixed if you shake it really hard. And then eventually over time, if you were to let that sit overnight, it would eventually separate again because the more dense water will want to sink and the less dense oil will want to rise. So that's the density way of separating. Go ahead and try that at home if you want to. Magnetic attraction. This is a pretty limited one. You can only use this for a few things, right? There's only some things that are attracted to magnets. So the example they give here is iron mixed in with sand I'm not really sure what example, like when are we going to find iron filings mixed with sand? I don't know. But let's say we have iron filings mixed with sand. Filings are just little pieces of iron. Iron is one of those things that's attracted to a magnet. So then if you were to run the magnet through this bowl of iron and sand, you would eventually pick up all the iron and all the sand would be left behind because the sand is not attracted to the magnet. All right, filtration. This is a pretty common one. Filtration removes solids from liquids by using a filter. So this has a mixture of sand and water. You can think about that, or let's just think about pasta and water, right? Pasta, when you cook pasta in water, pasta is the solid and water is the liquid, obviously. And when you are done boiling the pasta, we put it in a colander or a strainer, right? And we are just trying to use this method of filtration to let the water run out and the pasta stay in the bowl. All right, and then evaporation. I think you all know what evaporation is. This is what you would use to separate salt from water or sugar from water. It's just heating a solution so that all the liquid will turn to gas and leave the solids behind. So this is the way that they separate salt from water when they're like trying to create table salt. So one of the ways that we get table salt is I think Peru has a pretty big operation where they have a bunch of these pools of salt water that are just left out in the sun, and eventually all that's left is salt because all the water has evaporated, and then you just have dried salt that you can package and sell. Okay, so that's it. Those are the 4 methods that we're talking about. If you add a couple of extra notes from this video, like if you're going back through these slides and add a couple of extra notes, that's awesome. If you want to send me a picture, I'll put in some merits for that. And as always, let me know if you have any questions. All right, have a good day.